MenzShed is really to provide somewhere for local men to come and gather. And even though we've got the workshops and all the equipment, that's not really the whole thing about it. It's really somewhere for blokes to come. And we've got a number of our members living alone, and you can imagine on days like this sometimes it'd be too easy to sit in the lazy boy and be watching TV programs when we might have activities that we can do. We've got heating here, we can warm it up, and sometimes it might even be just going away on a day trip, outings, that sort of thing.
Yes, so sometimes you'll sit round and chat
rather than a cup of tea and a couple of bickies and
putting your heads down and working.
Yeah,
a lot of it's about mental health.
Very much so. That's first and foremost, really. It originated, I think, in Australia. It's a very big organisation now, worldwide, in fact. But it was a lot of it stemmed back in Australia when some of the farmers were having bad times and a lot were committing suicide, and so it was important then to find something for these blokes, somewhere they could come and share common knowledge, and when we're often in a group here, sometimes not a lot of work gets done, but we can help sort out all the political problems and sporting issues and things like that might be going on. And while we're here, we can pot around doing bits and pieces. And we do a lot of work for other community groups.
So currently, how many members have you got, and what skills do they bring?
We've got 22 members. Some are still working, of course, but we've got skills from people that have been in the teaching areas, fire service, police. I was involved in the police and also as a funeral director. Engineering, we've got people in the building trade. So depending on what the skills are is what we can offer the community.
What about local farmers? Do they get involved?
Some of them do. Two of the local farmers recently owned an old combine harvester, and it was actually still operating, but it was really past its use-by date in terms of being any good on the farm. They actually donated that to us.
A combine harvester?
A combine harvester that we actually drove from the farm down to a yard down the road here, and we dismantled it. And made around $3,000 worth of sales and parts. So this is one of the workshop areas.
You've got, 1, 2, 3 workstations?
Yes, at the moment. And we've actually recently completed about 25 raised garden beds, some potting tables and other bits and pieces for a community garden that's recently been established. And we've been able to donate all that material for them to get them off the ground and started, and just by using the materials from recycling pallets.
And I can actually see a couple of sold signs on the planter beds.
Yes, so we're like any organisation. You have overhead costs, power and insurance and things like that. So it's difficult always to meet those costs just in our normal sort of funding. So we have to look at a few sales and apply to some of the funding agencies to try and keep our heads above water in that regard.
Who's the oldest member?
Yes, our oldest member is actually Bruce Abernathy, and he is a long-time local. He's only ever lived in Cheviot, and he had his 87th birthday a couple of weeks ago. And he was, in fact, I think, the longest-serving volunteer fireman in the country at one stage. And he likes to recycle. He doesn't like seeing things thrown away. Even bent nails get straightened out.
Some people love to hold on to things, don't they?
Absolutely. And we've got people that have got disabilities too. We've got 2 guys that are blind or severely sight impaired, and we can sort of keep them involved with things. We've got to be careful that we don't put them anywhere near a saw bench.
I reckon.
But they're very capable people, and they like to be part of it. And we see ourselves as a family. It's important that the members can feel that they can come here and have a chat. We might also, if there's issues going on health-wise with people, we might get the district nurses to come in and talk about prostate cancer or something like that. Just things that are commonplace around, and guys need to be reminded of things that they should be doing.
Often men don't talk about themselves that well.
Traditionally, it's a common thing, yeah.
Now behind us is a rather wonderful looking doll's house. Is this being repaired or has it been made here?
This is the second of the doll's houses that we made, and one of our members, Harry Eipenberg, a Dutchman, and he's a absolutely fantastic craftsman, and he's made all that furniture as well to go with it. But that's going to be a raffle at some stage between now and the end of the year.
A fundraiser for the MenzShed.
For the club, yeah. And that'll help meet some of our overheads and things like that too. And it may be that we've been able to assist the local cancer support group.
What's the situation with women? Are they allowed to join?
All men's sheds have got the opportunity to allow women in as members. We don't. We sort of feel that the concept of men's shed was about men's welfare and well-being. And so even though we've got a lot of interest from women, what we can do is hold a course, or we had the local garden club came in here and made bird feeders. And
so they come in as community groups and work on projects.
But we just don't have women members.
Now, Simon, you're a member?
Yeah, one of the original members.
What's your background? What's your profession?
I'm a cabinet maker by trade, but live in the country area, so I do pretty much most things. Yep.
So what do you get out of being a member of the Men's Shed?
Well, I work on my own, so working with other people it's a joy, and I enjoy coming down here and having my other mates in the team. So the social aspect is probably a good 50% of what we're all about, really. Yeah. It's not, as Bruce said, it's not always about the project. We enjoy each other's company and we can help each other out.
Yes. Well, let's go through and look at the other workshop.
It's a typical old school classroom unit.
Thank you.
This is the machine shop, if you like. This is where, from a woodworking point of view, we've got the saw benches. We've recently purchased a brand new 20-inch thicknesser, and over the back is a large table bed sander.
A nice bandsaw here.
Yep. And we've got some lathes, and there's 2 or 3 of us that are involved in wood turning.
A very well-equipped workshop. You said you also do light engineering. Where do you do that?
Yes, so we've got an engineering section just out the back in one of the outbuildings. We've got guys that are skilled enough to be able to teach people how to weld or use other engineering equipment. And we've got gas welding, we've got stick welding, and we've got the MIG welding.
And I guess this could be a handy resource for the Cheviot area school that's just down the road.
Very much so. They don't have a woodwork room or an engineering facility over there. Students who need to do any study in that regard have to go down to Ara College in Christchurch. And the new principal is very keen that we have some sort of a partnership going where we can be involved with some of the kids in projects for the school, or it could be for themselves, or it could be for the benefit of the community.
And how nice for Men's Shed members to be able to share their skills with the younger community here.
Yeah, it's a real privilege to do that, and it's amazing too once these kids see just how capable they are of doing things. That's quite an encouragement for them as well. In fact, we were quite proud. Our youngest member came here as a 16-year-old, and he's now away doing an apprenticeship. And he just came along and got involved. He wanted to do woodwork in particular, and so we got him involved in some of those things, and he flourished. And
now he's got an apprenticeship.
And now he's got an apprenticeship.
Is there a fee to join the Men's Shed? How does it work?
So yes, we have an annual fee subscription, and at the moment, and as far as the Cheviot MenzShed is concerned, it's $25 a year.
Oh, not much.
No, well, it's just to help keep some of the overheads, so that we can have a supply of coffee and tea and bickies and things like that for Smokehouse. But each men's shed can set their own rates, and our ambition is to really be able to minimise the amount that we have to get the members to pay, because we'd rather. Some of them are members of other organisations. Some of them, if they're on their own, they've got other costs. If we can get funding to help us with some of our projects and therefore not have to worry about paying membership fees, well then that's a biggie for us. So we will endeavour to keep our membership fees as low as we can and give the guys somewhere to come to.
That was Cheviot MenzShed Chair Bruce Nicol. Cosmo was also talking to local member and trustee Simon Chester.